Good afternoon, good evening, good day, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Talks with Tanya. Yes, I am so glad to be back here this evening. Looking for you to join me. Make sure that you let me know that you're here in the chat. Let me know where you're joining from as we go live again to talk about matters of the heart. Yes, matters of the heart. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Welcome, welcome. All right, well, welcome to Talks with Tanya. My name is Tanya Bain, and I am your host of the most like digital news information and talk show, where we talk about what's on your mind. We interview guests of excellence, and I get to share my view with you. So come on in the room. Come on in the room. You want to grab your glass of water or wine, because wine on occasion is good for the heart. Get yourself comfortable because you don't want to miss this show. You will find me here on Talks with Tanya and also on Anchor FM on Talks with Tanya, the podcast, where we are committed to educating, informing, impacting, and connecting by sharing information that will heal lives. So you want to make sure that you stay connected with Talks with Tanya on Facebook and Instagram Live. You'll want to take a moment, please, to like the Facebook page, and on YouTube, you'll want to hit the bell and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our broadcasts. So this week, this is the second time I've been on this week. I'm losing track, but it doesn't matter. I'm just so glad that you guys are here. Thank you. Thanks for joining. The first thing I want you to do is to remember that our Queen of Hearts, Miss Bea Baylor, is giving away some amazing prizes. So you want to make sure that you take a break for your own sake and register to win a prize. It's scrolling right on the bottom, bit.ly/matters of the heart. You want to go ahead and register for one of the amazing prizes. Alrighty, so you want to make sure that you do that. We have Miss Bea Baylor is coming back on, and another amazing guest I want to bring up to you. Hey, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. But I want to share with you a little bit about my experience this week. I want to talk about some forward motion and forward motion to success. So I had the opportunity to speak with a few of you, and thank you so much for getting back to me when I said I need to talk to you. But I wanted to get some feedback about where you were around your heart. All right. And we talked about different ways that we've been impacted by our heart. We've been impacted by our heart. The first way that we think about is what I found is we think about it in terms of relationships. And we have a guest coming up next week that's going to be able to speak to that specifically. But when I say broken heart syndrome, girl, you know I know what you're talking about. And then we also talked about how it impacts us physically, and how when you look at the number of women that are affected by heart disease, by cardiovascular disease, and the fact that 1 in 5 women die every 80 seconds. 80 seconds, that's not even 2 minutes. And that's only of cardiovascular disease. And I wanted to know how you felt about that. And many of you expressed that you were afraid to deal with it. And I could relate to that. You know, you dwell on the past. I dwelt on the past and about all the things that I didn't do and how I didn't walk my 5,000 steps and how I opted, to go to Bahama Breeze um, instead of, eating right. And all of those mistakes that I made, not drinking enough water, not going to the doctor, not paying attention to what I knew about. And I remained in denial about that. And so many of you could relate to that and spoke to me and said, that's exactly where I am, Tanya. And we could sit around and dwell on those mistakes. And, we could talk about, the past. But, I think about it. Believe me, I've done a lot of things wrong, but I've done a lot of things right. And I don't want us to retreat back to the memories and the mistakes that we've done wrong and not live in the valley of regret where I get distracted and not focused on being able to move forward. So I'm really excited about the guests that we have today because they are sharing experiences that they have about the things that we can do in order to care for our heart. So let me bring up our guests today. I'm going to bring up the Queen of Hearts herself, Bea Baylor. Welcome back, Bea. And I appreciate you and everything that you have lent to us in making this a celebration. And also, Delayna Watkins, the wellness
Everybody.
maven. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want to be sure that, I was looking at the body of work that these two ladies have contributed to. They are both professional nurses, have been professional nurses, and I was saying them to them earlier uh, that the nurse is the one that's closest to the front line, right there for you. When you press that buzzer, that's who you're looking for because
Yeah.
the doctors with other patients, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you guys are out there. But I know this is going to be amazing. I want to share with you this information about our special guest, the wellness maven, Delayna Watkins. She's a nurse, a wellness expert, and a health advocate. And I would be remiss if I didn't share. I know this is abbreviated, but you need to know who it is that has taken her time to come and share with you. Uh, Delayna is a true wellness maven with a real passion for women's wellness. As a board certified registered nurse, she has extensive clinical and leadership experience. She is recognized in the health industry, in the health and wellness industry. She has received the Governor's Citation Award for her work in the healthcare field. She's also a best selling author, a nursing leader, and a woman that is truly dedicated to women's wellness. In addition, can you believe that? She is most notably the CEO and founder of the Women's Wellness Lounge,
Yes.
an intimate space where she provides health advocacy and lifestyle change services. I'm about to sign up and I'm so serious. Okay, to thousands of women locally and nationally. She recently expanded this concept and launched a national TV show and podcast, the Women's Wellness Lounge Show, which provides education and entertaining content for women. Delayna has also created the Sugarless Living Program. Don't let me go away without signing up for that, okay? Which is a results driven program responsible for helping women and their families decrease their consumption of the dangerous refined sugar and processed foods, which leads to weight loss and diabetes prevention.
Yes.
As a speaker, Delayna is authentic, electrifying, and energetic. Her delivery shifts the audience into action and provides support for the immediate lifestyle change. Since pursuing her passion, Delayna has been recognized and featured on various national platforms and media, including The Dr. Oz Show, Fox 45, The Steve Harvey Morning Show, The Wealthy Sisters Radio, Diva Zone Magazine, and other professional networks. She has provided services for the University of Maryland, the National Black Nurses Association, Coppin State University, the National Association of Professional Women, and the Internal Revenue Service, among other professional organizations. Delayna is constantly in hot pursuit of her dreams and goals with the unwavering support of her family. She is honored to be a voice for women to experience total wellness at any age. Delayna,
Yes.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I never
Yes,
get tired of that last part. Being the voice for women to live a healthy lifestyle at any age. I never get tired of hearing that last part.
absolutely. So, B, I'm going to ask you a question because being a nurse and selecting a nurse to come on and help you celebrate,
Mhm.
what was that connection and synergy that you wanted to bring to us?
Thank you, Tanya. Again, guys, welcome to the celebration. Today, around this time, I was in ICU recovering from open heart surgery, all four quads. So that's a quad cabbage, right,
Mhm.
Delayna? And we
Absolutely.
need to get the word out, guys. We are looking at our health in a way that no one else is going to look over us.
Mm,
There are a
Mhm.
lot of health disparities amongst women of color. And I was pleased to bring on Delayna because it's not just about me, it's about us. And this entire episode for the rest of this month, it's about us. It's a
Mhm.
celebration. I'm your sister. I got in trouble with my heart, and so can you.
hmm. Yes, yes. Selena, what has been your experience with this level of issue? What prompted
Mhm.
you to really pour your passion into women and their wellness?
Absolutely. Again, thank you for having me this evening on the show. And again, be Queen of Hearts, sharing this, our voice, so necessary and so needed. Um, and what propelled me to use my voice, my time, my talent, and my treasure, I always love to just kind of make that connection,
Yes.
is that being a nurse on the front lines, there was like this thread that I would see when I would go from room to room,
Mm,
seeing patients and, working with them and treating them. And oftentimes it was that one of two things: either they had the knowledge, but didn't apply it, or they lack the knowledge. And so therefore they were admitted for most definitely, most often, heart disease or diabetes or some diseases that were
High blood
manageable
pressure.
or, right, or preventable. And
Yeah.
so I had to use my voice, Tanya, and my knowledge to give them what they needed to do better and make better choices.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
You were the voice, Delayna, the
Mhm.
advocate. So
Absolutely.
many family members didn't even know they can even have a voice,
Hmm.
or maybe afraid, or just don't know what to say. I become the advocate for my family members.
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But my voice count and my voice matter, and I'm going to say something and be the advocate within the hospital, because
Yes.
sometimes the care doesn't happen, or it just kind of go by the wayside. So even in the hospital, you have to be the advocate for your patient, or
Absolutely.
you may not get the care that you deserve.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. So tell us about your experience, Delayna, and what propelled you to be the
Mhm.
advocate, not only with your voice, but with your action.
Sure. And B kind of touched on this because we know that without having that voice, that some things may not get done. And if you don't have the knowledge that certain things should be done, then they're not. And so, outside of me sharing my voice and giving them the knowledge, I then had to say, I am going to hold you accountable. So it
Mm,
goes from advocacy to accountability to support. And so it's sort of like a three-pronged process when you're in the midst of making that change towards developing a healthier lifestyle so that you're not readmitted to the hospital, so that you're not suffering from complications. And so I had to not only talk to them, I had to propel them into action.
So that was advocacy,
Mhm.
accountability,
And support.
and support.
and
Awesome.
Delaney, I'd love to tag on to that, because you can provide all of that, but there's a
Mhm.
certain group of women of color who are in denial.
Yes.
And I was dealing with my mom yesterday, totally in denial, and I was there to put a heart monitor on her. Oh, wow. She just was gonna not have it. I'm
Mhm.
good. I feel okay. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with me.
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
hear that so much, even within ourselves. It'll go away. And I'm a true believer, and we're going to get into really taking care of yourself and listening. Listen to your heart,
Yes.
your body,
Absolutely.
your
Mhm.
mind, your entire
Mhm.
life matters. And my
Absolutely.
life was on the line, guys,
Mhm.
because denial.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I always say that health is really an inside job. A lot of it, although we need to do things physically, like there's certain actions that we need to take. A lot of what we're doing is what B just spoke about, and that is the denial piece. It's really a mindset. And so we hear that so often. And so, when we hear things over and over, it tends to kind of lose its potency or kind of get watered down. But it really is a mindset. And a lot of what we do starts in our mind. It's what we will accept, what we believe in. And then once we believe it, we can then move forward with the action. And so a lot of work, when I work with clients, they think, oh, aren't you just going to give me a meal plan, a diet plan, a workout plan, or this or that? No, I need to
My
find out where you are. We need to make
right.
that connection. Do you
Absolutely.
believe? Do you understand? So it's a lot of work there first.
And it starts with you owning
Hmm.
Hmm.
where you are
Yes.
and accepting it. You see, if you're a diabetic, Delayna and Tanya,
Hmm.
you could turn it around
Yes.
with what you're putting inside of your body. You could turn your heart around. You could turn
Mhm.
any organs that's inside the body. It can be turned around just by
Mhm.
changing your lifestyle, your eating habits, how you look at yourself, and really know that you're important and you matter and no one else. The buck stops with you.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Yes. While my audience is there, I'm going to ask them if they wouldn't mind just putting in the comments if they know someone, either their friends and any type of that has been or had been dealing with a heart issue, high blood pressure. Okay, just drop it in the chat, and if you have some questions, you'll want to make sure that you do that. So
So, so Tanya, I'm going to intercede
yeah.
because underlying conditions
Hmm.
lead to diseases.
Mm-hmm.
It's the underlying, it's not the heart that goes, it's what you've been putting in your body, the stress level of really looking at how you're treating your body, and then the organs go. So I really want to clear that up. And
Hmm.
then you don't know, because a lot of times diseases are it's silent, the
Right.
signs and symptoms
Mm-hmm.
you don't know, and then you know, and then you blow it off because life get in the way. I got to hurry up and do that. I can't
Absolutely.
stop to meditate and to sit down and to rest and to sleep and
Mm-hmm.
get all that, because I'm a 24/7 gal, that I'm taking care of my family. I'm working probably 2 jobs, managing the house, managing my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So underlying conditions is what we want to bring to the forefront, to be aware that I'm about to break down here.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's an excellent point, B. And you brought out something that I wanted to kind of touch on, and that is it being a silent killer, or just being silent, not necessarily a silent killer, although it is. Um, Tanya, you also brought up another point too, and that is when we see, so we can see a broken, arm or a broken leg, right? You have a cast on it, it's been treated. These things that we're talking about as far as heart
Absolutely.
disease and underlying conditions, along with diabetes, are things that are not seen. And so oftentimes it's easier, as B said, to not act or to do anything about them, to prevent them, or to lessen your exposure, or decrease that chronic it from becoming a chronic condition. And so that part is what we oftentimes may have a difficult time dealing with, or having people to really see that there's certain things that they should do to prevent those underlying conditions from becoming a chronic disease.
So, what would you say in terms of identifying? And I know, B, you talked about last week that you had some symptoms ahead of time and you were self treating.
I, no, ma'am, I was not self treating. I was in my mind, Tanya, I'm thinking I'm okay. I'm
Right.
very health
Mhm,
conscious. I,
mhm,
I'm eating at Whole Foods. I'm doing all the right things. I'm not on medication. I'm
mhm,
under the doctor's care, but that silent signs and symptoms just wasn't there. So what came up was, oh my gosh, I'm feeling my chest hurt.
mhm,
Okay, it'll go away. Let me sit up. Let me,
mhm,
like, just walk around. It'll go away. So stress
Mm.
was a contributing factor during the pandemic, as we all have gone through some sort of sentinel event, stress,
mhm.
worry, depression, lack, misunderstanding, why, uh, financial, all these things were contributing factors to
Yes.
what I perceive I'm living good.
Yeah,
I'm doing
absolutely.
all right.
Mhm.
You know,
Do you find that same thing with your clients, Delayna?
Yes, absolutely. I'm over here like incessantly doing like this as B is talking, because that is one thing that I find. And she hit the nail on the head when she said, "Oh, I have a little bit of chest pain," or "Oh, I'm feeling nauseated." And so we search for a reason why we're experiencing that. And so we can check it off and move along. And so that is one thing that I find that a lot of my clients would say, oh, probably for a week or so, I was dealing with, some pressure or maybe some dizziness or lightheaded or some abdominal pain. And they would find something that that they could kind of blame it on. Oh, I ate some bad Chinese food, so that's why my stomach's hurting for 2 days. Or, oh, I'm dizzy because I waited to eat too late. We could just find that thing that
Yes.
we could check the box. Am I right, B?
You nailed it. Like, my mom's short of breath and her ankles are swollen, and she's like, yeah, I have this asthma.
Yeah.
Girl,
Yeah.
if you don't go away from here with that excuse, you have all these, like, trying to go walking, in the evening, ooh, this heat, and I know I need to lose some weight because it's short of breath. I need some oxygen. Trying to go there when you should not be short of breath when you're walking. Your ankles should not be swollen, and you're showing up at the doctor like there's nothing wrong. I'm just here. Don't you check my blood pressure either, okay?
Yep. And the other thing, unfortunately, that women don't do, it's not heart disease and symptoms of a cardiac event aren't classic. I always tell people it's not the Hollywood heart attack. It's not the thing we see, on Fritz, on Sanford and Son, where he's clutching his chest and doing all this. We don't put the symptoms together. So if you experience the symptoms, kind of separately, and they're sort of, incidental, and they may only occur like one today and maybe not another one until Friday, you're not putting them together. So that happens a lot with women. It is that we sort of compartmentalize or one off our symptoms. And even when we tell our healthcare provider about what we're experiencing, we tend to minimize what it is that we are experiencing. And so it's difficult for your healthcare provider to put that together if you're not explaining all of the symptoms in its entirety and or truly what you're experiencing.
Oh, so Delayna, sometimes you may have to take your kids to the doctor with you so they can tell the truth.
Come on now. Yes.
Because they be all up in your business trying to tell the doctor what you're not going to tell the doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I go in by myself because I'm going to tell the doctor what I want. Because I don't want all this medication that the doctor's going to prescribe. Being a nurse, I'm like, if I could not give my patients any medication, I'm just fine with that because it's all the side effects from the medication. And look at me, just picking everything apart as a nurse because I know. But that is disparities amongst us that we're just not going to get the kind of care. And it's fortunately for me, I had an opportunity for a family member who was chief of staff at the heart hospital to just walk in and everything is going to be all right.
Right.
The doctor is in the house. But some of us don't get that VIP treatment. Absolutely. And we get looked over. What if the kidneys fail? What if you go into shock? What if an infection? Does the nurse know what she's doing? No, especially the older generation, just hush. Don't say nothing. You're going to upset the nurse.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's where that advocacy comes in that you spoke about before. And when you talk about advocacy, it's not necessarily, it's self-advocacy, being able to use your voice as a patient to speak up and say, I know that something is going on and that this isn't how I normally feel. And I need to make certain that not only am I sharing with you everything that I'm experiencing, I need to make sure that you're listening and that you're putting all of this together and doing the necessary tests and making so that we can make the necessary plan of treatment. So it's having advocacy that kind of goes both ways.
Yes.
I think you did a care plan, Delayna. A care plan. We're gonna have a care plan meeting. I was an MDS coordinator in the hospital, and because we have to have a plan of care. We have to have not only in the hospital but for you at home. We know you're not going to follow your plan of care at home, nor are you going to follow the regimen that you received in the hospital. So again, managing your health is very hard to do, just like losing weight is very hard to do. Managing your health, and I know we're going to get to I have a regiment and want to share with you guys
Yes.
Yes.
how that's going to go down, and really share what a regiment is and how you could stick to it, because stress comes up every day.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's the code of life,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to face different disparities, things that come up, but we have
Mm-hmm.
to be the advocate for what's best for us, and
Mm-hmm.
the word no has
Mm-hmm.
to be on your itinerary at all
Mm-hmm.
times.
At all times. At all
Yes.
Yes. So
times.
what I heard, this is really important, is advocacy is a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes, it
right.
is.
It's something that, yes, it's great to have someone there on our behalf,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to be our own advocates and our
Yes.
own voice, and we need to be educated and
Mm-hmm.
sharing this information. It's like pay it forward, share this information, and then the accountability
Mm-hmm.
to, once you recognize it, and own your part, or, begin to shift your mind to be
Mm-hmm.
accountable for that. So,
Absolutely.
what kinds of things can you share in terms of accountability? How, a couple of tips on how we do that. And
Absolutely.
then, Miss B, like, based on your experience, what do you do different? We can get to that, okay?
Sure, Delayna, you can go
Yes.
for that.
Sure. Sure. So for accountability, I always like to reiterate, share that no one can support or be your accountability partner. First of all, we don't need cheerleaders. I like to make that distinction that a cheerleader is someone that will just cheer you on, whether you're doing good or bad. A cheerleader is, for example, if you don't feel like going to work out, like B talked about earlier, going for that walk, a cheerleader will just say, "Oh, don't worry about it. You can do it tomorrow. It's okay." Sometimes you just don't, feel
Yay.
like going out. That's a cheerleader. An accountability partner is someone who will remind you of what your goals are. So accountability begins when you realize what your goals are. So if you can just pick your top 2 to 3 goals and then share how you're going to achieve them, then someone can be your accountability partner to hold you accountable for doing those necessary steps to reach those goals. So accountability begins when goals are identified, and then steps are also identified. And then that's where your accountability partner can come in and say, these are the things that you are, basically responsible for, or are signing up to do, or are being held to. And I'm your accountability partner to help you with that, to remind you of why you're doing these certain things.
Yes.
Mm.
That two-way street is owning it yourself, doing that
Mm-hmm.
goal, and really being a sister, okay,
Yeah.
and say, nah, get up off the
Mm-hmm.
couch.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Because you don't want to be the cheerleader. The cheerleader will say, "Oh, girl, you're right. I understand. It is too hot outside, or oh, it is too early, or oh, whatever it is that you've come up with as a reason why you're not able to fulfill that particular commitment, that cheerleader will just co-sign for you. But an accountability partner will have a different approach, and that person will remind you of why you're walking in the first place.
Yes,
Mm.
that's love. That
Mhm.
is love.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so Miss B, you have a regimen, okay? And so those are your goals, all right? So it's a great segue into that.
Mhm.
What are your goals, and what did you do to shift that mindset, and begin to put action behind getting that done for yourself?
Thank you, Tanya. Well, first of all, guys, listen, this is my heart,
Mhm.
right? I own my heart. I'm in charge of my heart. And when you're on the airplane, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on, right? Not a pandemic mask, not today, not a pandemic mask, an oxygen mask. You need to put your mask on first. Why is that, Delayna?
With the lack of oxygen, we cannot certainly be able to help someone else, because we will 9 times out of 10 lose consciousness, and not have the wherewithal or the ability to help another person. So it is important that you show up and that you're able to sustain your life in such a way that you're then able to help someone else.
So beautifully put. So I do have a regimen, guys, and I'd love to share with you because I did a lifestyle change. I shifted a lot of things, and just bear with me for a couple of minutes. I want to share my regimen with you. And the first thing that I want to do is protect my heart space. I really want people to know that the first thing that you should do, and when you get up in the morning, is the first to put your breastplate of armor on. And that is definitely in the Bible, Ephesians 6:13. You have to put your breastplate of armor, whether that's your mask, whatever you need to do to protect yourself from whatever the day is going to bring you. And when you wake up in the morning, please get rid of all of your electronic devices, move them away from your bed, sit quietly in bed. If you don't want to meditate, just get quiet and stay that way for at least 15 minutes without thinking of anything. Just let your mind be clutter free. And I sit quietly with no electronics on. And that's the first thing that I do before my feet ever touch the floor. I have a bottle of water by my bed, and I want to drink that water because I want my blood flow. I want circulation. And so that's the second thing that I do when I rise up. I get up, I make my bed. Why? Because I feel good. I've done a task and it makes me feel so good. I eat a healthy breakfast. I take all of my medications. I have a product called Juice Plus that I take daily. It's my regimen. I take a walk and come back. Then at that time, it's around 9 o'clock. That's what time my day starts. I try very hard to educate my family members. Why are you calling me before 9? It's my time. And I'm real strict about my time because that is what we need to do. So during the day, stop and take a mental break. Really sit down and reset. Get your friends and family used to what you're used to. Get yourself a VA. If you're working your business, get yourself a VA. If you are working a full-time job, find a job that you can afford a housekeeper. So you're not tied to all of this work and worrying about stress. Because administrative work is what's taking you down and you're not making money in your business. Find yourself a coach. Stay present. Stay present when it's after 5. Spend that time with your family, guys. Spend time with your family. Family, it's love. And love brings peace. And you have a commitment to your family. Family should not bring among stress. If you stick to your regiment, when things get heated or overwhelmed, step back, take time to reset. I stick to my regiment and I've had a beautiful day. Your words, your thoughts, your actions matter. It affects you. If you react to bad situations, my goodness, what does that do to your heart? I was overwhelmed with other people's stuff. Guys, I was leaving this earth thinking about other people's stuff. Now it's enough for me. So thank you, Tanya, for allowing me to share my regiment. It's a celebration for me. It's not, my wife for doing this was to bring about awareness to you guys that heart disease doesn't skip over you to come to me. It's a two-way street.
Absolutely. Celebrate life. This is just another way of celebrating life by bringing awareness, all right, to what it is and giving us some tips. Delayna, you actually have a specific program in your organization, and it's so interesting that it's Matters of the Heart. I was like, what?
Yes. When I saw that, I said, oh, now that is divine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are the pillars. The
Yes.
regiment is pillars for
Mm-hmm.
healing the heart. And there's several of them. And I only
Mm-hmm.
touched on balance, to keep a balanced life. But there are other pillars that we have come up with to
Yeah.
help you stay focused on your health. That's
Absolutely.
really
But balance is like the main one. That's major because I feel as
absolutely
though if you don't have that, all the other things that we share with you generally don't come to pass or get done anyway. So I think certainly be you sharing that, the importance of the balance and putting yourself first, allocating that time, being specific, making your family aware. And, I always tell my clients, it's you that we're working with, but your family and your community, they are a part of your goals as well. Let them know that the journey that you're on so that they can support you and respect what it is that you're doing as well.
Yes.
And so making sure they know, don't call me before 9 or later in the evening. I have this, 30 minute to an hour of a wind down window where I'm spending time with myself to release the day so that I can prepare
yes,
to
yes.
retire for the evening to get quality sleep, which is another pillar as well.
Mm.
Again, that helps to decrease the stress. You talked about putting the electronics away. I tell my clients, shut off the noise, shut off the
Shut the
noise.
noise
Yes,
off.
yes. Close your, ear and eye gates. Turn off the TV, kind of release the day and be present in the moment so that when you're going to sleep, you're not taking those thoughts to bed with you so that you can get quality REM sleep, which is stands for rapid eye movement. And that way you can get into that dreamy state so that you can get good quality sleep. That's where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens when we get good quality sleep. Your cells are able to regenerate. Your brain is able to regenerate cells. You're able to dump things so that you can be more creative and productive the next day. So getting good quality sleep. I always say people, I had a post not too long ago that said, how many hours of sleep do you get? And it varied from 4 to 7 to 6 to hardly any. However, I do focus on the numbers, but not so much. I like to focus on the quality of your sleep because you could get 8 hours of sleep and wake up tired, and that's because you didn't get good quality rest. So it's the quality of your sleep. So that's another
Quality
pillar.
matters. Right.
Quality matters.
So very, very true.
Mhm.
And
Because
naps.
Yes. Ye-
it's kind of hard for me to take a nap because I'm a bear. After 8, I'm done anyway. I'm done. And Delayna, I think you do stay up late, but
I do. I do. I stay up late. Oh my goodness. Yes.
so I need to maybe start getting a nap in. But I've got a
Yeah.
nosy, so I got to see what's going on.
Right. Yeah. It's so funny. Like just as I was sort of getting, going into a menopause, and Tanya, you and I talked about this earlier, I noticed that every now and again a nap was sufficient. And I was never a napper. Like I could go, go, go. But again, I had to listen to my body, and my body was telling me that, I did need to kind of restart. And it's okay.
Yes. Yes.
Not every
So
day, but just listening to my body on the days where I do know that I'm going, going, going. Yeah, I will sign up for a nap.
I sign up for a nap every day. I can do 15 minutes, or sometimes it's not even a nap, it's sleep, but it's what my body needs.
Yes.
It is
Mhm.
what my body needs. Yes. Yes, Rebecca, I stay up much too late. Yes, she does.
Yeah.
That's one of my
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, but you got it, Rebecca. You need to take, if you're going to stay up late, take a nap. Because it's
Mhm.
okay to say, 4 or 5, I'm going to lay down because I may want to be up, and
Right.
that's okay. You have the regiment. The control is in your hand. You got the
Mhm.
remote to your body.
Yes, that's a good analogy, B. Absolutely. Yep.
Yes,
Mhm.
bigot.
Yes, yes. So, Delayna, tell us a little bit more about the community that you serve and the services that you provide.
Sure. So the
As
community that I serve, I love to say that I serve women of all ages. And
absolutely.
um, So we reached back in probably about 4 or 5 years ago and really started to include younger girls that were going into preteen, because what I found was that if they learned these behaviors early on and understood what a healthy lifestyle looked like early on, and not having to be told or had an experience and then understand and start to make the changes. If I knew as a preteen some of the things that I found out later, I'm sure that my healthier lifestyle, healthy journey would have begun earlier. So to answer your question, we really work with women of all age groups and young girls as well. And what we do is we really touch on the top three things that women tend to experience, and that is um, diabetes. So we have the Sugarless Living program, and then heart disease. So we have Matters of the Heart, and then breast cancer. So we have Pinky Promises and the Pinky Promise Project. And that basically gives women the opportunity to understand breast cancer prevention, things that they can do, have the knowledge, education. We show them how to do self breast exams at home and various things like that. So all of those top three programs that we teach really just focus in on what I like to say is what a lot of the health disparities point to. And so we give women the education and the tools and the resources that they need around those top three things. And then, of course, our other programs are just really focused on creating a healthy lifestyle and the importance of that. Because again, we hear that, oh, healthy lifestyle, and it begins to lose its potency and its effectiveness. And so I try to really keep it top of mind and give women what they need to understand what a healthy lifestyle really means and what it really looks like.
Absolutely. That is so needed. In my conversations today, everything that you talked about, there were women that I spoke to. I have, friends who are going through chemotherapy right now, and they educated themselves well. But then I also know other, women who have not done that, and they just for whatever reason, it's a difficult thing. They don't have the education about what it is that they need to do. The heart disease I can speak to because of my own, my own experience that I denied, and diabetes. My family was just wrecked with diabetes and the sugar, and I can see it in the habits, that I have as well. That is powerful. You are celebrating 10 years.
Yes. Yes, Tanya. Yes, I'm so excited. So the very first Wellness Lounge was held September 14th, 2011. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to bring women together and talk about things that I felt we didn't discuss either openly, or we didn't have the wherewithal to know that these things should be shared and talked about. And so I really had no idea what I was doing, but I did it. It was a success. Women wanted more, and I gave them more. And so each month we would meet and just talk about a different health topic. And 10 years later, we're still doing it in a different space, in a different time. Subjects may be a little different, but the mission remains the same. And so on September the 18th, which is this Saturday, we will be celebrating our milestone of 10 years.
Congratulations. That is just awesome. You were really ahead of the curve,
Yes.
in terms of publicly talking about those issues. I find that as, women of color, we don't talk about that. We suppress it. It is that generational bondage, that mindset enslavement that we have. But 10 years, you saw that and planted the seed. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
To you. Miss B, what I want to do is I want you to go ahead and dig in, because it's time to give away some prizes, and I need to highlight some sponsors. So don't go away, ladies. Let me find my sponsors and let's bring them up. We want to thank our sponsors, Talks with Tanya. Stay tuned for our upcoming summit. Stay tuned for our upcoming shows on the matters of the heart. Here is the site for Women's Wellness Lounge. You can go to womenswellnesslounge.com to give. Our own Bea Baylor. I'd love to talk about Promote Her. When you win, I win. A real network of sisters supporting each other. Thank you, Simply Morita, for her products, her home interior decorating, Jewel Premium Sanitary Napkins. You know that you can get them. And I've got to slow down the reel a little bit more the next time, but I'm going to make sure that I post them on Facebook as well. Again, I want to make sure that you contribute and support the womenswellnesslounge.org because you can
Yes.
make a contribution there. Women's Wellness lounge.org. We wouldn't be here meeting if it weren't for Promote Her. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Simply Marita Farmhouse Would Be Decor. I have to order mine. So we thank our sponsors again. I'm going to post that on the Talks with Tanya web. I'm going to be a speaker at the Queen's Roundtable Symposium. And remember, like, share, follow, and subscribe me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, B, do we have a winner or some winners?
So, Tanya, do we have a list of the giveaways?
A list of the giveaways.
What am I going to give away today?
Whatever it is, I know it's going to be good stuff. Bea Baylor is giving away
good stuff. Let's see. What do I want to give away today? I want to go and really look at. I want to say one more thing, guys.
Yes.
Before I go, surrender is the word.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
For you to be in the place where you want to go in your business, your marriage, your life, surrender. Okay. And the first gift that I'm going to give away is a free clarity coaching session. And guys, I go all the way in. And the person that I'm going to give this to is Kelsey because she went and registered. So Kelsey, if you're listening, Kelsey Ripa, who is the Promote Her administrator, and if you're listening, you're in. Okay. The next person that I'm going to give I think I'm going to do a business executive report analysis of your business. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's amazing. And that's going to be to Tia. So if you're listening, Tia, you will receive an all exclusive executive report of your business and tools and resources to get your business where you want it to be. When I Google you, I want to see your business. And Christina, I have seen your name here a couple of times.
Yes.
She was here last week, right?
Last week, yes.
Christina, I'm going to send you one of Simply Marita's farmhouse beads. It will be shipped directly to you. So because I'm looking at you, you not only were here, you've supported Tanya, you've supported me, and I really appreciate that.
Mhm.
And so there you have it.
Yeah.
And Tiara, Tiara Tucker, you will receive, because I see you here. You're going to your business has a beautiful, beautiful report, because I've already done an executive report of your business, and it's just amazing. So you're the second person who will receive an executive report.
Wonderful.
Yay.
Thank you, Miss B.
That's
Thank
awesome. Those
you.
are awesome prizes. I mean, just valuable, just good stuff.
Absolutely.
Giving
So
from the
the
heart.
next, I mean, I'm in a giveaway next week. There is, oh my gosh, there is a meditation for next week. There's a gift basket. I may just go online. If I see that there is some comments, I may even give away. So for those of you that I called your name, reach out to me. And Tanya, where can they reach out? Because the ones that I called your name, you went in and registered. So I appreciate
Yes.
you going in and registering, because you had the list. And for those of you who did not, then you have to go back. Rebecca, I need to tell you that there is also, let me just go ahead and give you, how about the sanitary pads?
There we go. And they can reach out to me at talkswithtanya@gmail.com.
If I
Talks.
called your name, reach out and receive your gift from the heart of Bea Baylor. You see, when my heart is good, I can give freely.
Yes.
I can give freely. And these, as Delayna said, are invaluable when you are working with a high performance coach like myself, who can take your business to a whole nother level. I'm very low key, very humble, and I've surrendered. So I don't boast, but there are women that I've taken their business to another level. So don't underestimate that clarity session or the executive business report that you're going to get. And
Oh my
so
goodness.
next week I will have more gifts to give away. And for the one that won the Simply Marita Farmhouse beads, invaluable gift.
Beautiful.
And if,
They are
if
really handcrafted, specially designed. Marita Sutton Brown is an amazing interior designer. Love her stuff.
Thank you,
We
Tiara.
appreciate it.
And so are you out there. Speak that movement, gal, who's out there doing some amazing things. And you are somebody that you need to get to know, Delayna and
Mhm.
Tanya, because you are doing some amazing things. And we did Tiara's. I'm going to tell it. She has a nonprofit called Speak That Movement, and she's in
Yes.
Dallas, Texas, guys. And if I tell you, she's doing some amazing things out there. And so, collaboration,
Collaboration.
connection,
Yes.
and lifting each other up is what we do and promote her
Mhm.
in Boss Lady.
Yes.
Mhm.
And we are all boss ladies. So, Tiara, come hang with us, come play with us sometime,
Yeah.
okay?
Absolutely. I love that. I love
Uh,
that. I love that.
so, Delayna, how can
Yes.
we donate to your event this weekend? Now, I'm happy to make
Absolutely.
another donation. Just
Yes.
cash out. You
I
know I
love it. Yes, absolutely. So there's a couple of different ways that you can donate. You can go to the site that Tanya shared, which is womenswellnesslounge.org, or directly to me via our Cash App, and it's set up at WW Lounge. So it's WW Lounge on Cash App, or if you choose to just do it through the site, it'll go through PayPal, and that's womenswellnesslounge.org. And so, although our event is sold out, we are still accepting donations because we are, of course, setting forward motion for our next fundraiser and project, which is the Pinky Promises Project in October around breast cancer.
Awesome. 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 I'm going to
Oh
post
gosh, yeah,
now.
yeah. Make sure I'm involved in that. I'm a 21-year breast cancer survivor, so I'd love to pitch that for you.
And that
Absolutely.
is
Thank you so much, B. Yes, so I'll be in touch with you. I mean, you and I are going to talk anyway after Saturday. So
Yes.
absolutely. This has been marvelous. So just some closing thoughts. Delayna, what would you like to leave us with from your heart?
So from my heart, so matters of the heart. And I think, B, you hit the nail on the head when you said surrender. Like I was thinking, oh, that's such a powerful word. And I
Oh,
show if we're one-on-one as clients. And that word resonates with me, and that it's surrender. So the nugget that I would leave is to kind of just do the what I call the neck up checkup. And so that means
mm,
that you are checking in with yourself. It's the mindset. Where are you? It's a head and a heart connection. And so surrendering is part of that, and just being honest with yourself. So start with the neck
Um,
up checkup.
I love that. Check up.
that's so easy to remember.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
I love that. Yes. Very good. And Miss B, talk to us. How are you feeling, celebrant?
I feel good all over. I'm here. I'm alive, downsized, living nomadic. I roll like that because now I took back my life. I
Mhm.
I'm in full control. I was in other people's lane and they were controlling my life, my heart. I've been through the storm, but the storm is over. I do
Excellent.
nothing but give freely of my time and give it to me first. Me first.
Yes.
My mask goes on first, and then I can help you. But I know the word no. So I'm going to leave you with, don't explode before you say no. Say
Mm.
no so you don't explode.
Thank you. Thank you. To my guest, from my heart, you are loved. To my audience, thank you so very much for your support. Remember, we're coming back on Sunday, the 19th. We're going
Yes.
to be talking about the oh,
Family.
oh,
Family
the
stuff is
family.
it's a I've got probably 70, 80 family members, but I have a total of 7 siblings, and they're all are here, and it's going to be perspective from my family of around the heart, how they're now taking care of themselves, how my 3 kids and 9 grandkids are coming on board to say what is their perspective. And Grandma B just got to be here. I got to be here, and I'm so glad that I am, along with Judy Credit from Dallas, Texas, with a foundation called Loving You More Foundation. And she's going to talk about broken heart syndrome.
Yes.
Guys, part of my heart was broken. And we don't want to talk about that because it's just a shame if we talk about broken heart. So
Yes, it is.
we're going to talk about that, and Judy's going to come and bring it home in honor of her brother, whom she lost to broken heart syndrome.
Wow.
So it's the truth. It does exist. And
It
so
does.
that's what, yeah, we'll be back. Oh, gosh, it's a whole month of celebration. And we are rallying for you, Delayna, as you go about your 10-year celebration. Girl, if you
Amazing.
win, we win. And that's
I
what we
love
want
it. Thank you
you.
so much. The
Okay.
love
Thank
is
you.
Shouting
amazing.
out.
Thank you.
Just doing shout outs all week, trying to get people because don't stop the donations. You
Yes,
keep
Don't
the
yes,
stop the
donations
donations.
coming, okay?
absolutely.
Tanya, what
Yes.
would I do without you? I'm so glad that Talks with Tanya, she's back.
Yes. Yes. The heart didn't put me down, okay?
Stay alive, girl.
Absolutely.
Stay alive.
Absolutely. Thank you to my audience. I appreciate you. We'll see you back here on Sunday.
Thank you,
Stay
Samela.
tuned.
Oh, that's one of my sisters. She said she's looking forward to. She's the minister. I'm gonna have to let her know. She's the minister, guys. Okay, preach. I'll preach, Minister Williams. But yeah, that's her. She said she's looking forward to Sunday. So
Very good.
you guys
Let's
can see
remember.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Make sure we do neck up checkup. Yes. Thank you,
That's it.
Dr. K. We'll
Yes.
see you the following week. Everyone, take care, be blessed, stay inspired. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.